channel. And today, we're diving into one of the biggest updates we've all been waiting for, the AFX CEX listing timeline. The team has been hinting at it for a while, the countdown has been ticking, and now we finally have a clearer picture of what's coming next. If you've been wondering when, where, and how this listing is happening, this video will walk you through everything you need to know. Now before we jump into it, make sure you stick around until the end because I'll be sharing what this timeline could mean for early holders, staking, and future price movement. There's a lot more going on behind the scenes than people realize. So let's start with the big question. What's actually happening with the CEX listing? Over the last few weeks, AFX developers have been preparing the infrastructure for 3.0, and part of that rollout includes rebuilding the ecosystem to handle external exchange integrations. That means everything from smart contract upgrades, liquidity syncing, and token pairing has to be carefully aligned before it goes live on any centralized exchange. The key takeaway, the CEX listing isn't being rushed. The team is doing it properly this time, ensuring all systems are stable and the listing happens seamlessly. This is why we've seen the website updates, countdown timers, and scheduled maintenance, all part of the preparation. Now based on the internal timelines being discussed in community calls and leaked screenshots, here's what's likely happening step by step. First, the final audit of the AFX contract. This is what gives exchanges confidence that the token is safe to list. Second, liquidity preparation, meaning funds are allocated and confirmed for both on-chain and off-chain pools. Third, exchange onboarding, where AFX provides their compliance and documentation to platforms like MEXC, Gate.io, or potentially even KuCoin or OKX. Once that's complete, the CEX will schedule a listing window, usually announced 48 to 72 hours before trading goes live. That's when we'll likely see the marketing push. And if AFX follows its usual style, expect some teaser videos, influencer promotions, and maybe even partnership mentions leading up to the reveal. Now, let's talk about the impact. When a token moves from being purely DeFi-based to also trading on CEXs, two major things happen. One, visibility skyrockets. Millions of new traders who don't usually use PancakeSwap or Trust Wallet will suddenly have access to buy AFX with fiat or stablecoins. And two, liquidity deepens. That means less price volatility, more stable trading, and potentially higher demand as new investors join in. For long-term holders, this is a key moment. Historically, listings like this have triggered massive price movements. We've seen tokens jump 2x, 5x, even 10x overnight after hitting major exchanges. And here's where it gets interesting. The timing of the staking return, the website maintenance, and the listing prep all seem to connect. It's almost like the team is synchronizing everything to launch together in one powerful wave. If you think about it, that's smart. It creates momentum. Staking locks supply, listings increase demand, and upgrades rebuild trust. That's a recipe for a strong rebound. Now let's clear up some confusion, because I know many of you have been asking, why hasn't AFX just announced the exchange name yet? That's actually standard procedure. Exchanges don't want leaks until all contracts are signed, and KYC verification is complete. Announcing too early can cause fake listings, scam links, and confusion. So even though we're in the final stages, they're being cautious, and that's a good sign. The other thing people have noticed is the website countdown timer. If you've seen it, you'll know it's been slowly ticking toward what looks like a new phase launch. Based on previous updates, that timer might be connected to both the 3.0 expansion and the CEX listing window. It's possible we'll see a simultaneous reveal. The new dashboard goes live, staking reopens, and the listing date is announced within the same week. Now let's talk about the emotional side of this. I know the past few weeks have been stressful for some holders, with the price dipping below 20 cents and the site under maintenance. But if you've been around long enough in crypto, you know that this is how accumulation phases look. The market goes quiet, right before a big move. And in this case, all the signs point to a coordinated relaunch, not an ending. The developers haven't disappeared, they're reorganizing. And that's exactly what you'd expect from a team preparing for a major exchange listing. Think about it. No project can get listed without going through these steps. This is a normal, even healthy process. Once the listing happens, what comes next? That's where things get really exciting. Because once AFX starts trading on a CEX, you can expect additional utility layers to roll out, especially those connected to AFX 3.0. That includes AI trading pools, staking contracts, and cross-chain integration. These will drive volume and attract traders who care about real utility, not just hype. Here's something else worth noting. Centralized exchanges love data. If they see strong holder engagement and trading activity, they'll often add deeper pairings and promotional campaigns. So after the first listing, AFX could quickly appear on multiple exchanges within weeks. This chain reaction effect is what we've seen with tokens like Render and Casper recently. One listing triggers a cascade of others. And, let's be real, momentum creates visibility. If AFX manages to hit 2 or 3 decent tier exchanges before the end of this quarter, it could become one of the most talked about low-cap AI tokens in the market. The timing couldn't be better either. The AI and blockchain fusion trend is exploding again, and projects that combine both stand out. So what should holders do right now? First, keep your tokens safe. Don't send them anywhere until the official listing announcement drops. Second, make sure you're part of the verified channels. There are fake Telegram groups, fake support links, and scammers popping up pretending to represent AFX. The only real announcements come from the verified accounts. Third, be patient and strategic. The best moves in crypto often happen quietly before the noise. The people who hold during uncertainty are usually the ones who benefit most once the news drops. Another reason to stay optimistic, the AFX team is communicating more clearly than before. We've seen community messages, dev updates, and consistent activity. That's always a positive sign in crypto. Projects that are quiet for too long fade out. But when you see back-end maintenance, UI redesigns, and staking talk, it means they're gearing up, not winding down. The other big takeaway here is that listings create credibility. Once AFX is trading on a regulated platform, it opens the door to partnerships, exchange marketing, and even investor onboarding. It's not just about price, it's about trust. And that's something the team seems very focused on rebuilding. So to wrap it up, the AFX CEX listing is more than just a new trading venue. It's the next major step in legitimizing the entire project. With staking returning, 3.0 launching, and ecosystem updates in motion, we're entering a completely new phase of AFX's growth. If you've been holding through the dips, this could be the turning point you've been waiting for. The next few weeks will be crucial, and I'll be covering every update, every exchange announcement, and every ecosystem change right here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update. And if you want to discuss AFX news and strategy in real time, join my Telegram group, link in the pinned comment below.